This is David Comfort. Welcome to Democracy Action Network. Despite steady GDP growth, low inflation, low unemployment, and record-high stock prices, Americans elected Donald Trump in 2024, who promised to lower costs and usher in a new era of U.S. manufacturing. But just months into his second term, these promises are colliding with economic reality. The Atlanta Fed now projects the U.S. economy will shrink at an annualized rate of 2.8% in the first quarter of Trump's presidency. The forecast was fine until Trump's tariffs on Canada and Mexico actually went into effect. This isn't just one pessimistic prediction. The evidence is piling up everywhere you look. The stock market has tanked. The S&P 500 down 6% in a month, NASDAQ down 8%, badly underperforming European counterparts. There's even video showing markets plummeting in real time, as Trump made it clear his tariffs weren't a bluff. So what's driving this economic reversal? It's not government spending cuts. Those have been minimal, with government spending actually increasing slightly. It's not the immigration clampdown either. Those effects take time to manifest. No, the culprit is overwhelmingly tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Policy uncertainty has skyrocketed to levels not seen since the early pandemic, even higher than during the 2008 financial crisis. How are businesses supposed to make investment plans when America's basic economic policy approach could completely change in 6 months? American manufacturers, supposedly the beneficiaries of these policies, are screaming the loudest about tariffs. Why? Because tariffs on imported materials and components hurt them more than help by raising costs more than they raise demand for domestic products. The Institute for Supply Management's Manufacturing Index is approaching stagnation as orders and employment contract, while prices paid for materials surge. It's just input prices, input prices, input prices. Small businesses are getting clobbered worst of all. They're heavily reliant on imported inputs and lack the resources to quickly pivot. Newspapers across the country are filled with anguished complaints from small business owners facing crushing new costs. Trump's defenders initially launched incoherent rationalizations. Some claimed a recession would somehow help pay off national debt. Total nonsense, since recessions reduce tax revenue without lowering debt. Others suggested the previous economic data was fake. Some Trump allies in Congress are now simply telling Americans they'll need to do what it takes and endure economic pain. In one darkly hilarious moment, Trump's Secretary of Agriculture told Americans to deal with sky-high egg prices by raising chickens in their backyards. How did we go from "Make America Great Again" to "Everyone needs to become a backyard chicken farmer"? This isn't just bad policy, it's ideological. Unless Trump is being paid by America's enemies to destroy the economy, what we're seeing is a commitment to economic self-reliance at any cost. Like North Korea's Juche, Stalin's Iron Curtain, or Mao's disastrous economic experiments, Trump is prioritizing economic nationalism over prosperity. Trump has now delayed some tariffs, but the uncertainty remains. The same apparatchiks who cheered the tariffs days ago are now praising the delays as the art of the deal. But businesses and investors can see through this. Trump's tariffs were never a bluff. He means to enact as many as possible, and his delays merely ease America into becoming a poorer, more isolated country. America voted for someone they thought would fix inflation, a modern-day Reagan. Instead, they got a Dime Store Mao, willing to impoverish his nation just to make it less reliant on the rest of the world. A little buyer's remorse seems appropriate. This is David Comfort signing off from Democracy Action Network.